Yeah. Same dirt diamond under Friday lights, same town showing up every night. Names change, years roll by, but this game never said goodbye. From hand-me-down gloves to brand new dreams, every era left something in these seams. You don't replace what built this ground, you stand on it and play it loud. If this field could talk, it'd tell you all. Every pitch matters in this town. This is Decatur, this is how we play. 9 innings, no shortcuts, earn it every day. Stand up, let it ring, from the bleachers to the wall. This town plays ball with the Decatur Bean Ballers. Beanball baller, beanball baller.
We welcome you inside Bob Warren Field here on the campus of Indiana State University in Terre Haute, Indiana, for an Eastern Conference Central Division showdown before the Terre Haute Rex and your Decatur Bean Ballers. We thank you for joining us here on the official YouTube channel for your Decatur Bean Ballers. I'm Truman Griessel, joined alongside me tonight Daniel Herzog. And while your Bean Ballers come in struggling as of late, they come in with a 9-13 record, but losers of 3 straight games. Meanwhile, the Terre Haute Rex come in just a half a game behind them, 9 wins and 14 losses into this Wednesday night matchup. And, well, Daniel, it's been a struggle the last 3 games. Not only has it been 3 losses, all 3 losses have been at home. And arguably the 3, as you described last night, gut check as sour-tasting losses that the Bean Ballers had this season.
Absolutely, Truman, and it felt like just each one got more and more painful. Ones you just let slip through your fingers. There were a few, the Bean Ballers tried to dig themselves out, but it was just too deep of a hole. That, of course, in reference to the loss to the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp last Saturday. The Danville Dans offense never really got going against the Dans back on Friday. And then last night, you don't plate any runs until the 8th. When you plate 3, you're pitching had done well enough to only allow 2 runs, but 2 more runs come across for the Normal CornBelters, and the Bean Ballers can't play anything more in the 9th. And if you're Decatur, you must have just left the winning here at Terre Haute your last time here, because the last win for the Bean Ballers came here at Bob Warren Field. It was last Thursday, a 1-run, 6-5 victory for the Bean Ballers. And you're hoping to find that here again if you're Decatur.
Second three-game losing streak of the season that the Bean Ballers have suffered, and they're looking to snap that right here. The Rex in their home blue uniforms with Rex baseball in black letters across the front, blue, white numbers on the left-hand side of the jersey and on the back. White pants and blue socks. As for Decatur, their navy blue road jerseys, Decatur in silver across the front, silver numbers outlined in cyan blue across the back. They'll be wearing their alternate cyan caps, navy blue bills, and white capital D on the front of those hats. Lineups tonight. First for Gabe Arroyo's squad, Brandon Abernathy leads off. He's in left. Moises Febriette bats second at third. Misael Maldonado bats third and right. Jackson Snitko bats fourth at first. Jackson Miller bats fifth in DHs. Matthew Novominsko bats sixth in center. Carter Ritchell bats seventh at short. Keegan Farnes will bat eighth at second. And Gage Renz will bat ninth and catch with Nate Trimble on the mound against Abernathy, Febriette, Maldonado, Snitko, Miller, Novominski, Rich, Farnes, and Reynolds. And they will be facing Andrew Guzman for the first time this season. The right-hander makes his sixth start for Terre Haute, and the right-handed hitting Brandon Abernathy digs in. We are ready. First pitch of the game is in there for a strike, and we are underway. Here, Rex and Bean Ballers. Abernathy comes in hitting .282 on the season. Pitch from Guzman. Line in the air to center. Bryson Carpenter's over to his left, and he's got it for out number one.
Yeah, Guzman has a sort of a violent wind-up, but Abernathy was right on this fastball, maybe just a tad late, put it just to the right of center, but easy enough for Carpenter to track down for out number one.
Now it'll be the right-handed hitting Misael Maldonado, who digs into the Moises Febriette, who digs into the right-hand batter's box. Got the night off last night against Normal. He's first pitch swinging, rolls one up the middle. Nomar Garcia's got it at short, whips it across the diamond to Wally Diaz. And it's a quick 2-up, 2-down for Decatur.
Yeah, after a strong performance Saturday night, Febriette moves up in the order. He's been aggressive at the plate, but what has really helped out is that he's finding ways to make contact. That, of course, did not go in his favor, just soft contact. Might have jammed him a little bit. Looked like he was in a little bit of pain with the vibration, but there's out number two.
2 outs on 3 pitches. Another right-hand hitter, Misael Maldonado, now digs in. Playing once again in right field. First pitch to him is breaking ball low and away. Guzman comes into this pitching matchup 0-2 with a 5.91 ERA in 21 and a third innings. He does have 25 strikeouts to just 11 walks. 1-0 breaking ball in there at the knees for strike one. Defense behind Guzman, Gio Mendoza in left, Bryson Carpenter in center, Nate Millington in right, Carter Murphy at third, Nomar Garcia at short, Deacon Brinkley at second, Wally Diaz at first, and Joseph Gutierrez is his catcher. Maldonado chases a breaking ball way outside the zone. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that did not look like a comfortable swing from him. He steps out to adjust the batting gloves. It just seemed about halfway through the swing he realized it was something he had no chance of hitting and pulled his head away. Did not look comfortable at all with that.
1-2 offering. In there, called strike 3. Breaking ball freezes him. It's 3 up, 3 down for Andrew Guzman. He retires the Bean Ballers in order. Headed to the bottom of the first, Nate Trimble takes to the mound. Trying to snap the Bean Ballers loose this kid. Right-hander Nate Trimble makes his 7th start in a Bean Ballers uniform this season. He comes in with a 1-0 record, a .273 earned run average, and he comes in with the second most innings pitched in the Prospect League, 26 and a third innings, 18 strikeouts to just 15 walks. And they'll face a Terre Haute Rex lineup that is led off by Joseph Gutierrez, their catcher. Nomar Garcia will bat second. Bryson Carpenter bats third, and he's in center. Carter Murphy in the cleanup spot at third. Gio Mendoza bats fifth and left. Wally Diaz bats 6th at first. Deacon Brinkley bats 7th at second. Ben Jones bats 8th and will be the DH. And then Nate Millington bats 9th in righty. And that's Gutierrez, Garcia, Carpenter, Murphy, Mendoza, Diaz, Brinkley, Jones, and Millington for the Rex, who come in winners of 2 of their last 3.
Yeah, the Rex last night at the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes, a 10-0 victory, and the power was certainly on full display. Wally Diaz hit his 7th home run of the year, and the Rex also got home runs from Murphy and Bryson Carpenter. Those are their 4th and 2nd home runs, respectively. So plenty to show in the power department. Trimble needs to keep the ball in the yard, which he's done well so far this season.
The Rex are averaging 9 runs and 10 hits during this 3-game stretch that have all been 3-run rule games. 2 run rule wins and a run rule loss sandwiched in between. The left-handed hitting Joseph Gutierrez. First pitch from Trimble. High and away, ball 1. Gutierrez comes into this game hitting .338 on the season. That's 2nd on the team. Pitch from Trimble. Downstairs below the zone, 2-0. Last time out for Trimble against these Rex in the Decatur's last win, he had a season-high 5 walks. 2-0's upstairs, and it's quickly 3-0 on the Rex's leadoff hitter. Three O's in there for strike 1. Trimble against Terre Haute made it just 4 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs on 2 hits, and didn't strike anybody out. 3-1s at the knees, 3-2. Gutierrez thought about tossing the bat away, but it's a full count to the Rex's leadoff man. Payoff pitch. Chop to the right side. Keegan Farnes gloves it and flips to Jackson Sitko, and Trimble comes all the way back to get out number 1.
Yeah, great job to battle back into the count and get out number 1. A very softly hit ground ball. You get true hops on this turf. It's right into the glove of Farnes, and easy out number 1.
Behind Trimble to be Brandon Abernathy in left, Matthew Novominski in center, Misael Maldonado in right, and then around the infield, Febriette, Rich, Farnes, and Snitko, with his battery mate being Gage Reynolds. First pitch to Nomar Garcia, bounces in the dirt for ball 1. Garcia's missed some time with Terre Haute this season. Comes in hitting .226. He had a great game yesterday. He was 2 for 4 with a double and a pair of RBIs. 1-0's outside, and it's 2-0. Out of the stretch from Trimble. Garcia lines one to left. Abernathy doesn't have to move. And he's got it. And it's allowed out number 2.
Yeah, that ball was just blistered off the bat of Garcia. A little out in front, but catches it right on the barrel. But Abernathy moves over maybe a step. It's just poor placed. And there's out number 2.
It's now the hometown kid, Bryson Carpenter, who digs in for his first chance against Nate Trimble. Comes in hitting .235, but he's hit safely in 10 of his last 12 games. He takes a hearty hack at the first pitch and misses. Daniel mentioned it, but Carpenter went deep in the win yesterday against Springfield. It was his only hit. Half swing over the breaking ball, quickly 0-2 against the Rex's center fielder.
Clearly got fooled by the breaking ball. It's been a lot of fastballs so far to start things off for Trimble. Throws an 0-1 breaking ball, and Carpenter was not expecting that, to say the least.
The 0-2 is a breaking ball behind Bryson Carpenter, and then they say it clips him on the back. An unconventional hit by pitch gives the Rex their first base runner.
Yeah, just the worst thing you can do 0-2 if you throw something a little too close to the middle of the plate. I guess the worst thing you could do is maybe give up a home run, but other than that, just 0-2 doesn't get enough on this breaking ball. It ends up actually behind Carpenter, grazes his jersey, and he's aboard.
So now the Rex's leading hitter, the cleanup man, Carter Murphy. .358 is the right-handed slugger. He swings the first pitch, rattles it right back up the middle. Carpenter will stop at second. And the Rex now have 2 men on with 2 out.
Yeah, Trimble was just a strike away from getting out of it. Now he's going to have to work himself out of this jam. This one, Murphy was looking first pitch. He gets a nice first pitch right down the plate. Return to sender, blasts it right back up the middle.
Now be the left-handed hitting Gio Mendoza. Mendoza hitting just a $154. 4 hits through his first 26 at-bats. First pitch from Trimble. Chop to the right side. In play for Snitko. He gloves it. Calls off Trimble and steps on the bag himself. So a 2-out hit by pitch and a single. All for naught for Terre Haute. Nate Trimble strands them both. We're through one. Scoreless here at Rex and Bean Ballers. Top of the second here between your Bean Ballers and the Rex. Already this is their 4th meeting between these two teams. It's the most games Decatur has played against one team, tying the Du Bois County Bombers, who they played 4 games against early in June. Bean Ballers won 2 of the first 3 matchups, but Terre Haute looking to get one back here on their home turf. And we talked about it in the open, it's been a struggle for Decatur. Last 3 games have been 3 losses, and it's been 3 different losses, Daniel. You mentioned it Friday. Daniel didn't do anything special. If anything, it was a season-high 14 strikeouts at the plate for Decatur. Then you come in Saturday, Pistol Shrimp had lost 9 straight games and just a bunch of miscues and getting no hit through almost 6 innings, cost you that game. And then last night, you looked asleep for half the game. You came alive in the bottom half of the 8th, and then you couldn't close it out in the 9th. And it's been a streak now where you're averaging just 2 runs and 6 hits during this 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, it has been different losses. The first 2 were both games the Bean Ballers couldn't quite dig themselves out of a hole in. And the last one was one the Bean Ballers did dig themselves out of a hole but put themselves into another hole. But one thing that's been consistent is the offense has been really quiet. There's only been 1 run plated in those last 3 games in innings before the 8th and 9th. And that was an RBI double for Jackson Snitko back against the Dans on Friday. So the Bean Ballers have been really quiet to start games and usually end up in a hole because of it.
It is Snitko who leads off. First pitch from Andrew Guzman is in the dirt for ball 1. Snitko was recently named an All-Star to this year's 2026 Prospect League All-Star Game. Going to be held in Lafayette, Indiana, the first full week of July. The 1-0 offering tails outside, 2 balls and no strikes to the Bean Ballers' leading hitter. Snitko's hitting .342 with a team-high 25 hits and 15 runs batted in. He was just 0 for 3, though, with a walk last night against Normal. Pitch from Guzman, tails away. Quickly 3-0 to the Bean Ballers' leadoff hitter here in the second.
Yeah, I think Snitko is most dangerous with runners aboard, and he didn't get an opportunity with a runner aboard until his last time up last night in the 8th. There were already 2 outs, and he grounded out.
3-0 pitch. In there, taking all the way with Snitko, 3-1. Snitko's appearing in his 3rd game against Terre Haute. He comes in 3 for 8, including a double. In the previous 2 games, both have taken place here at Bob Warren Field. 3-1 from Guzman. Breaking ball, freezes Snitko, 3-2. It's 78 degrees, but overcast skies here in Terre Haute, Indiana, on the final Wednesday of June. 3-2, outside ball 4. Snitko doesn't swing the bat, but he works the full count walk.
Yeah, it seemed like Guzman definitely read the scouting report on Snitko. You can't run inside. You can't run down the middle. He works him away that whole at-bat. Just misses a few too many times, and the Bean Ballers have their first base runner.
First walk of the night, and for Guzman. He walked 5 in 5 innings against Danville back on June the 16th in his last start. Gives way to the left-handed hitting Jackson Miller. First pitch to him is outside. Miller getting the DHing duties tonight. Comes in hitting right at the Mendoza line, 200, 7 for 35 in what is now his 10th start. Guzman's 1-0, downstairs, and 2-0 now on Miller. Miller came on last night as a pinch hitter and came through with a single. In his last start was last Friday night against Danville. He went 1 for 4 against the Dance. The 2-0, fouled straight back. Rex infield shaded around a little bit to the right. Deacon Brinkley not in his normal double play depth. He's shaded around on the edge of the grass and the turf. Nomar Garcia shaded up the middle close to second. Snitko a short lead off first. Guzman works from the first base side of the rubber. 2-1. Half swing, and Miller fouls it back again. Andrew Guzman got him to chase the heater up.
Yeah, Guzman was working Snitko away. He's working Miller away as well, but putting a little more elevation on it, seeing if he can get him to chase. And he has so far a few times.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. Waved over the top of by Miller, and he strikes out. Second strikeout of the night for Guzman.
Yeah, good pitch sequence there by Guzman. Got him on a few heaters up, and then he throws something in the dirt. Completely changes the eye level, and way out in front was Miller.
Bean Baller center fielder Matthew Novominski now digs into the left-hand batter's box. Hitting just .235. He's cooled off after a hot stretch in early June. First pitch to him, outside corner, strike one. Novominski's last start came Saturday against Illinois Valley. He went 0 for 1, but he reached base 3 times. A couple of walks, and he also got hit by a pitch. The 0-1 pops straight up in the air on the infield. Over towards short, Nomar Garcia calls it off, and he squeezes it with 2 hands for the second out.
Yeah, more pitches up. It seems like whether Guzman is hitting the zone or missing, he's been missing or hitting mostly up in the zone, possibly a little more away as well to lefties. This one, Novominski just gets under a little too much.
Milliken man Carter Rich. Still Snitko at first, but now 2 outs in the inning. First pitch to Rich, tails away, ball 1. Rich is making his 20th start now of the summer here for Decatur. A Newton, Illinois native. Pitch from Guzman. Breaking ball away. 2 balls and no strikes. Rich comes in hitting .270. He's got 17 hits, but just one of them have gone for extra bases. It was a double, but it did come against Terre Haute in the second game of the season. Pitches in there for a strike. Now 2-1. Guzman gives a check over at Snitko. Now delivers. Breaking ball, ground to the left side. Murphy to a knee. Couple of shuffles, fires it across to Diaz to get Rich by a step. Leadoff walk amounts to nothing for Decatur. Rex come to the plate, looking to strike first. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Terre Haute against Nate Trimble. Worked around a couple of 2-out base runners, but was able to throw up a 0. Like Jackson Snitko, Trimble will also represent Decatur at this year's Prospect League All-Star Game. The Shelbyville, Illinois native gets the nod on the bump, and it's just nice to see. A pitcher and a hitter would have liked more. I mean, Manuel Toro, O'Neal Feliz certainly had cases to make the All-Star Game, but it'll be Trimble and Snitko who should represent Decatur nicely come early July.
Yeah, of course, you mentioned other Bean Ballers making cases, but this is definitely your best pitcher and to this point your best hitter are both going to be going to Lafayette. Congratulations to both of them on the honor.
Power slugging first baseman Wally Diaz will step into the right-hand batter's box to get the Rex started in their second. Diaz hitting .313 coming into this game. Leads the team, though, with 25 hits and takes strike one from Trimble. Breaking ball from Trimble drops in at the knees, and it's quickly 0-2 on Diaz. Bean Ballers have pitched him well. Diaz is just 2 for 10 in 3 games so far against Decatur. The 0-2's upstairs.
Missed upstairs with that fastball, but I like that he doesn't just try to throw a get-me-over breaking ball because that's the precedent with 0-2, because that's something that Diaz can absolutely crunch.
1-2. Pulled the string on Diaz. Gets him to strike out swinging. First strikeout of the night for Nate Trimble is Wally Diaz.
Yeah, great pitch there from Trimble. It's a breaking ball, but he makes sure that he buries it in the dirt. So if Diaz wants to swing at it, he can, but he's not going to be able to hit it, and he doesn't. Comes up empty, and there's out number 1.
First strikeout of the night for Trimble after he didn't have any last Thursday against the Rex. Tallies his 19th of the season. First pitch to Deacon Brinkley, clips off his elbow guard. And our home plate umpire's out. He was saying that it clipped the knob of Brinkley's bat, and he's going to get a conversation with our field umpire.
Yeah, it certainly sounded like it. It was loud. It sounded like the knob of the bat. I wonder if maybe it grazed the elbow guard before. Brinkley certainly sold it as if it did hit him, but umpires having a chat about it. Ultimately, it's up to them.
And they're going to award Brinkley first base. Well, it's the second hit by pitch issued by Trimble. And a 1-out man aboard.
And his fastball just misses inside. Also misses a little up because it hits him on the elbow guard. It seems that Trimble has missed around the zone in several locations, but a lot of them have been up, whether it's to the right, whether it's to the left, inside, outside. It's been a lot above the zone.
Ben Jones steps into the right-hand batter's box with a man on and 1 out. Open stance from the Falls Church, Iowa native. First pitch from Trimble. Fastball sizzles in there for strike 1. It's been a slow start for Jones. He has just 1 hit in his first 26 at-bats as he makes his 8th start with the Rex. The 0-1 pitch late on a fastball. 0-2. Brinkley at first has yet to attempt a stolen base so far this summer. But with Gage Reynolds behind the plate, arguably Decatur's best defensive catcher. The 0-2. Bounces in front of Reynolds. It's a good read from Brinkley. He moves up the 90 feet into scoring position.
Yeah, on 0-2, I like throwing a breaking ball that's somewhat buried, but not when it bounces about 10 feet in front of the plate. It's a tough hop for Reynolds, who does block it and keep it in front on the infield, but bounces far enough that Brinkley advances, and now there's a runner in scoring position.
Second consecutive inning. The Rex have had a man in scoring position. Still 1-2, though, on Ben Jones. Trimble delivers. Slap to the right side and through into right field. Brinkley's going to come on home. The throw in from Maldonado is late. And Terre Haute's on the board first on just Ben Jones' second hit of the season.
Yeah, with a runner on second and a righty at the plate, that means Farnes at second base is going to be holding him on, so there's a big hole between him and Snitko on the right side. Jones finds that hole, plugs it, and the grass slows it down. That the long arm, the strong arm from Maldonado in right can't quite get the runner at the plate.
It's Jones' third RBI of the season. Brings in Nate Millington. The first pitch to him is upstairs, ball one. Millington hits from the left side. The recent graduate of Terre Haute North High School, hitting .321. And his first taste of what collegiate baseball is. 1-0 from Trimble. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. For Jones, it's his first hit in 17 days. Last time he got a hit was against the Dans back on June the 7th. Hitters count to Millington. He rips one down the right field line, but it curves foul.
Yeah, I think for Trimble that just goes to show you it is 1-2, and you do have a hitter that is really struggling at the plate, but that doesn't mean you can't just serve him something right down the middle, especially with a runner in scoring position, and now you have to pay the price because of it.
2-1 to Millington's downstairs, and it's 3 balls and a strike. To the 9-hole hitting right fielder, top of the lineup on deck. Millington was 0 for 2 yesterday against Springfield. 3-1, fouled off to the left side. Millington, though, has seen Decatur pitching well. He's 2 for 5 with a couple of RBIs and 3 walks in 2 games against the Bean Ballers pitching. And all 3 walks came last Thursday. He now grounds one to Farnes. 4, 6, 3 in time for the double play to retire the side. But the first run of the game comes across Ben Jones. He drives it in for Terre Haute. We're through 2 here at Bob Warren Field. It's 1-0 Rex over your Bean Ballers on the official YouTube channel for Decatur Bean Ballers.
We're good. Bottom to top, due up for the Bean Ballers. 8-9-1, Keegan Farnes, Gage Reynolds, Brandon Abernathy against Andrew Guzman, who's on for his 3rd inning of work. It's no longer a scoreless game. The Rex took the lead via a Ben Jones single after the 2nd hit batsman of the day so far for Nate Trimble. Deacon Brinkley, who was hit, advanced to 2nd, then scored on the single. So it's 1-0 Rex. Guzman, glove in hand. First pitch to Farnes. Farnes shows bunt, chops it at the plate, fielded in foul territory by Joseph Gutierrez. Foul ball. So no balls, 1 strike now the count to Farnes, who comes in hitting just .240 through his first 50 at-bats. This is at-bat number 51, should he record it. Guzman back on the mound. From the windup, the 0-1. Farnes takes in the dirt, ball 1. This has been something the Bean Ballers now no hits through 2 innings. They were no hit through into the 5th yesterday against the CornBelters. Farnes chops it at the plate, foul, strike 2. And they were no hit through 5 into the 6th against the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp. It's been taking a while for the Bean Ballers bats to get going, and they're losing games because of it. Guzman deals. Farnes takes outside. Breaking ball just misses the corner. Tried to go backdoor, but to no avail.
Well, it was early in the season that the Bean Ballers, all they did was score in the early innings, and now it seems like they're a team that has to hastily try to score late in the game.
2-2 called, strike 3, a breaking ball backdoor. Farnes doesn't agree with it, but there's out number 1. It's the 3rd punch out of the day for Guzman.
Yeah, he's mixed his pitches nicely. Fastballs, breaking balls, and did look a little bit below the zone, but you got to protect 2 strikes. That's just a nice job of Guzman trusting his breaking ball there in a 2-2 count.
So now Gage Reynolds to the plate. Guzman deals. Reynolds chops it at the plate, foul. 0-1 now the count to the Bean Ballers backstop. But now through the first 8 hitters, only 1 base runner for Decatur, no hits. That was only base runner was a walk to Jackson Snitko to lead off the 2nd. 0-1 now to Reynolds. Guzman shakes off a few signs, deals home. The 0-1 swung on and missed, strike 2. Reynolds just a bit behind a fastball, and now he's in the hole. Reynolds has typically been the winning catcher. Bean Ballers 5-3 when he starts. Takes a fastball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count. Part of that is just because of how strong of a defensive catcher he is. Hitting .250 on the summer, but definitely the strongest of a defender between him, Jackson Miller, and O'Neal Felice, the catching tandem for the Bean Ballers. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Reynolds. Guzman back to the mound. The 2-2. Breaking ball called, strike 3. He drops in another breaking ball and gets the same result. 2 batters, 2 punch-outs, 2 away here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, again, just another unwillingness to protect with 2 strikes. That one was more up, outer part of the zone, but Reynolds just leaving the bat on his shoulders.
Top of the order now, Brandon Abernathy to the plate. Guzman deals. Abernathy watches a pitch away, ball 1. And Abernathy got the start last night in center field. Went 0 for 3 before a 2-run double tied the game at 2 in the bottom of the 8th, then scored the run to take the lead. Breaking ball taken for strike 1. Now 1-1 the count to Abernathy. But, of course, the Bean Ballers blew it in the 9th, gave up 2 runs, and the Normal CornBelters left with a 4-3 victory. The 1-1. Abernathy taps foul. Really has not been much sharp contact either today for the Bean Ballers. Abernathy flew out to center his first time up. In the hole, 1-2. Guzman deals. Abernathy chops it to short. Garcia fields it, throws across his body for out number 3. A pair of punch-outs for Guzman on the inning. The Bean Ballers go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Rex lead 1-0. Bottom of the third, Rex lead 1-0 here at Bob Warren Field. The Bean Ballers went 1-2-3 for the second time today, and now 4 punch-outs for Andrew Guzman. On the other side, Nate Trimble gave up a run last inning. He's given up now 2 hits on the day. Also has 1 punch-out. Top of the order due up, Gutierrez, Garcia, and Carpenter. Joseph Gutierrez looks at strike 1. Gutierrez was ahead 3-0 before taking 2 strikes and grounding out to second his first time up. Trimble deals. Breaking ball in the dirt. Ball 1. Gutierrez hitting from the left side against the righty Trimble. The 1-1. Gutierrez lofts it in the air into shallow right. Farness out. Novominsky and Maldonado over, and the right fielder Maldonado makes the catch for out number 1.
That's a good pitch from Trimble, staying low in the zone. That induces the kind of golf swing from Gutierrez to lazy pop-up out in the outfield. This is the second best defense in the Prospect League. There's 28 errors committed by the Decatur side, a .966 fielding percentage. Trimble's going to use the defense behind him.
Nomar Garcia to the plate, takes strike 1, a breaking ball on the outside corner. Garcia lined out sharply to left his first time up. The 0-1. Garcia takes just low. Ball 1. This is just his 9th game played so far this summer. Hitting just .226 coming in. The 1-1 swung on and missed. An ugly swing on a breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garcia hitting from the right side against the righty Trimble. Trimble deals. 1-2 chopped in the dirt. Left side. Rich tries to field it bare hand and can't come up with it cleanly. So a runner is aboard. We'll see how they score that. But a base runner with 1 out for the Rex.
That's a tough play for Rich because, I mean, Garcia is running hard, and that's all he could pretty much do. Is if he tries to glove that, he still would have to get the hand, throw it on the run. And on the scoreboard, they ruled it an error, which very
harsh.
Might have to head over next door, Daniel, between innings to discuss why that was an error.
Yeah, very harsh, the ruling. Giving Carter Rich the error. Did choose to field that with a bare hand. It was one of those plays where it's chopped at the plate. It takes a big hop and then lands right at the edge of the grass, and maybe the backspin might have taken it a little bit away from his glove side. Tried to field a bare hand, couldn't do. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1 now the count to Carpenter, who was hit his first time up. Was stranded on second after he advanced there on the Carter Murphy single. Murphy standing on deck. Trimble deals the 1-1. Carpenter takes down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. But no hit for Nomar Garcia, who certainly could use it. Hitting just .226 coming in. Runner goes. Pitch inside. The throw down is too far to the left of second base. And Garcia's in there with a stolen base. So now another runner in scoring position. The Rex have put runners in scoring position each of the last 3 innings. Bean Ballers yet to have a runner in scoring position. The count to Carpenter at the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike. Trimble takes a peek back at Garcia. Delivers home. 3-1 chop behind Carpenter. Count goes full.
There you go. Full count now. Garcia's going to be trying to get in your head if you're Trimble. And Farnes, you got to stay disciplined over there, too. If you're going to get near second base, you got to bounce off hard to be able to cover the hole. A competitive pitch right here. Look for the strikeout.
Trimble staring back. Delivers home. Payoff pitch. Tapped foul again. And not only was it a hit by pitch for Carpenter, it was an 0-2 hit by pitch. Just a backbreaker for the pitcher, but didn't come around to score, so no harm, no foul, at least in that situation. But the Rex do lead 1-0. Payoff pitch, hit sharply to left, and Abernathy plays it on a hop. It's a base hit Garcia moves up to third on the sharp single for Bryson Carpenter, and the Rex have runners at the corners.
Yeah, it's a tough read right there for your Abernathy. I think it's a sinking line drive, and this is not a very bouncy grass, so if he had tried to dive and lay out and it gets past me, Run still does score, but I think holding up and just being a wall and now kind of playing for the double play.
Carter Murphy, the third baseman, now to the plate. Hit a sharp single on a ground ball up the middle his first time up. Trimble deals, runner goes. Reynolds no throw down to second. He might have had him actually, but elected not to throw. Not sure whether he didn't have a good grip on the ball or didn't want Garcia to try scoring from third. But now runners on second and third, still only one out.
I don't know why you don't throw down there. Garcia's only a few steps off the bag. It didn't seem like he was going to come home, and probably had Carpenter.
Trimble deals inside. 2-0 now the count. Murphy homered last night against Springfield. It was his fourth home run, third on the road. Only one has come here, but that was a grand slam. The 2-0 hit softly in the air to right. Maldonado ranges in, makes the catch. Garcia does not want to test the arm. The throw-in gets cut off, but Garcia and Carpenter both retreat. And there's out number 2.
That's a good pitch from Trimble. Jams Murphy in on the hands, and just a lazy pop-up out to right. And they're not going to test Maldonado's arm. He threw out a guy last night, almost threw out a run last inning, but that's just too shallow of a fly ball, even with the speed Nomar Garcia possesses.
Yeah, defensively, this is certainly the best outfield the Bean Ballers can field. With Abernathy in left, the cannon and speed he possesses, Novominski and Maldonado. Looks like Reynolds and Trimble got crossed up, and because of it, Reynolds thought it was a fastball going away. It turns out to be a breaking ball that hit him in the glove but squirted just a little bit behind him, and Garcia comes in to score.
Yeah, Trimble not on the same page with his catcher. That's an unfortunate one right there because it was just right between the legs of Reynolds, who would have had a chance to field it and tag out Garcia, but didn't know where it was. Trimble not helping him point it out.
The 1-0 now the count to Gio Mendoza. Takes up and away ball 2. So for an offense that has been just very dormant to start games, very late getting going, now it's twice the battle. That one lofted deep into left center. Novominski ranges over and makes the catch, but he can't secure it. It's down on the track, and Mendoza's into second with a double. Novominski looks to be shaken up, and another run comes in to score. There's a fly ball fading away from Novominski. He ran all the way from center, and now he's down to a knee on the track. Did not look like a comfortable landing. Couldn't quite come up with it. And now it's 3-0 Rex.
And that was a long run for Novominski. It didn't seem like he was going to get there, and then he slides down and kind of somersaults, rolls over himself. And it's almost like in football, you know, they say, what's a catch in football? Well, you got to possess it through the ground. And that's kind of what happened for Novominski. He caught it, but then when he tumbled on the ground, about the second tumble is when the ball popped out. And, I mean, Mendoza smokes this ball and drives in a run, but now you just got to hope Novominski's all right. Trevor Geiss would be the outfielder off the bench if Novominski would have to exit.
Gabe Arroyo and the trainer have both trotted all the way out there to check on Novominski. Unclear whether he'll remain in or whether he's coming out. Looks like he's walking with the trainer now. The trainer now walking away. Novominski having a chat with Arroyo, discussing the play. They're now into shallow center, and he might be coming out of the ball game.
Yeah, Trevor Geiss out of the first base dugout.
So what was, after the fly out from Carter Murphy, you did have runners on second and third for the Rex, but 2 away. Reynolds and Trimble get crossed up, and a run scores, and then Mendoza drives in the other one with a double. That injures Matthew Novominski and takes him out of the game. So now Abernathy moves over from left to center. Trevor Geis taking over in left. And he'll most likely take over in the lineup for Novominski in the 6th spot. But if you're Decatur, you're just worried about the health of Novominski. And, of course, to add insult to injury, after all of that, the first batter that Trimble has to face now with another runner in scoring position is Wally Diaz. Reigning Prospect League Player of the Year. Trimble deals. Diaz takes a big cut. Runner goes. And the throw down to third, not quite in time. Reynolds, Trimble, and Febriette all don't agree with it.
Well, yeah, from up here, it looked like Febriette, while that throw was to the foul territory side of third, he dove back and seemed to tag Mendoza on that left hand. But the umpire standing over by second base called him safe.
So now 0-1 the count to Diaz, runner on third. Trimble deals. Diaz swings at a pitch in the dirt, 0-2. Clearly hasn't had a good read on that breaking ball from Trimble so far today. And if I'm Trimble, the one thing I'm making sure is that this next pitch isn't anywhere close to the middle of the zone. Lined in the air to center. Abernathy ranged in first. He turns around and makes the catch for out number 3, but not before the Rex plate 2 more runs on 2 hits and an error. We go to the 4th inning, 3-0 Rex here at Bob Warren Field. Three 0 Rex set to start the top of the 4th, and if you're Decatur Bean Ballers, the baseball gods just seemingly aren't on your side. When you last left Bob Warren Field last Thursday, Decatur was 9-10 after they had just won their 2nd road game of the year, headed back home. And since then, you've lost 3 straight, down 3-0 here today, and might have just lost Matthew Novominski for a bit of time. Febriette to the plate. First pitch, swing and a miss. Andrew Guzman on for his 4th inning of work. Febriette grounded out to short his first time up. The 0-1. Breaking ball catches the zone. Strike 2.
That's a sharp breaking ball from Guzman, and so far, I don't think any of the Bean Ballers have swung at a breaking ball that's been in the strike zone.
The 0-2. Febriette takes inside. Ball 1. And for Fabriette, he got the off night last night, came into pinch run, but did not score in the ninth. The 1-2 from Guzman. Fabriette chops to third. Fielded on a couple of hops by Murphy. Long toss across the diamond to get Fabriette by a step for out number one. A nice play by Murphy in the hot corner. So now one away. Misael Maldonado to the plate, who struck out looking his first time up. Bean Ballers, no hits so far through 3 1/3. Just one base runner, a walk to Jackson Snitko. He's on deck. Guzman deals. Maldonado takes up and in. Ball 1. Guzman back to the mound. A quick worker from the windup. The 1-0 misses in the dirt. Ball 2. But again, the Bean Ballers left here. They were 9-10, a chance to go 500 should they have beaten the Danville Dans, but instead you lose that one. You lose a heartbreaker against the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp. You lose last night, and you're trailing 3-0 here. The 2-0, blooped in the air. Ranging over and making the catch in center field is Bryson Carpenter, and there's out number 2.
And just getting under it was Maldonado. It was a good hitter's count to hit in, but just missed a pitch. Got under it, and it's just what Guzman hasn't induced. A lot of weak contact. Just keeping these beanballer hitters off balance, and just seems like they're playing the sluggish ways we've seen in the last 3 games at the plate.
Jackson Snitko now at the plate, walked his first time up. First pitch from Guzman downstairs, ball 1. That's the only base runner for the Bean Ballers. No hits through 3 2/3. They had no hits into the 5th yesterday. No hits into the 6th Saturday. Breaking ball taken for strike 1. Snitko named one of 2 All-Stars for the Bean Ballers. 1-1 line sharply down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Snitko takes a long turn around first base, but he's content with a single. Back to first as Millington picks it up and tosses it in. The first base hit for the Bean Ballers, and Snitko's aboard for the second time today.
He continues to lead that team in that department. Now 26 of them for Snitko, and it was a pitch inside. And that's where Snitko's been the most dangerous. And so far, he's been the only one that's gotten good at-bats against Andrew Guzman.
So Snitko came into today hitting .342. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Jackson Miller to the plate, takes ball 1 outside. Miller struck out swinging his first time up. Went 1 for 1 last night, pinch hitting for Keegan Farnes, his teammate at Quincy University. Guzman takes a peek at first. The 1-0 to the plate. Misses away. 2 balls, no strikes now. The count to the Bean Ballers' designated hitter. But for Miller, when he hits it, it goes a long way. He already has several extra base hits, 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run on the year, but only 7 total hits. Guzman deals. 2-0 taken inside, ball 3.
Well, it's also one of those things in batting practice day. He launched about 6 home runs to right field, and sometimes it's just hard for guys to translate that batting practice swing, batting practice mentality into a game.
So now 3 balls, no strikes. Runner on first, 2 outs. Guzman deals. Strike 1 right at the belt. 3-1 now the count to Miller. His home run came 2 weeks ago to the date down in Alton against the River Dragons. A long 2-run home run in the Bean Ballers' 14-8 loss. He also had a double in that one. Guzman deals. 3-1 misses inside, ball 4, and the Bean Ballers have a runner in scoring position now, 2 on with 2 out here in the top of the 4th.
Patience there, and then, Snitko gets a good pitch to hit, and then Miller not chasing anything. So now here's an opportunity But if you're Trevor Geisen, the scouting report you've seen from your fellow right-handed hitter is going to be a heavy dose of breaking balls. So sit back, keep that weight back, look to go the other way.
Guzman stares down Snitko. First pitch to the plate. Breaking ball misses away, and it gets by Gutierrez. Runners get an extra 90 feet. Snitko to third, Miller to second. 1-0 now the count. There was a check swing appeal, but they say no swing. So ball one to Trevor Geis.
Yeah, the Rex pitching staff, if there's something they've struggled with collectively, it's wild pitches down. The Prospect League leading 46th wild pitch. Granted, the first one is only coming here in the fourth inning.
Part of that is because the Bean Ballers have had so few base runners today. Just 2 walks and a hit for Decatur. But runners on second and third. The 1-0. Guy swings, lines it up the middle. Snitko will score easily. Miller gets the wave. The throw in from Carpenter is cut off. Geis tries to stretch it into a double, and he's thrown out. Diaz cut the throw off at the mound and tossed it over to second. But the Bean Ballers do plate both runs on the play and cut the lead back to 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. (3-2) in favor of the Terre Haute Rex, but the Bean Ballers are on the board for the first time in 3 games in an inning before the 8th or 9th. Nate Trimble back to the mound. First pitch misses away to Deacon Brinkley. 1-0 now the count. Trimble to Brinkley, and Brinkley was hit by a pitch, came around to score back in the second. Takes a ball in the dirt. Ball 2.
And now the important thing to do if you're Trimble, it's throw up a 0 after your team scored. All important 0.
Hitters count 2-0. Brinkley takes downstairs ball 3. Brinkley comes into today hitting just 150. Doesn't officially have any home runs yet, but he did homer on Sunday in a suspended game against Lafayette. Takes strike 1. That was his first collegiate home run, but it won't count until this Sunday when they play the rest of the game. The Rex were up 7-4 when it was suspended. 3-1 swung on and missed. Count goes full. The Rex were in Lafayette, but the rest of the game will be played in Terre Haute. Chopped foul down the third base line. Count still full to Brinkley. Looked like a little miscommunication between Tony Roselli, the manager for the Rex, and Moises Febriette on that ground ball. 3-2 line, sharply but right at Carter Rich at short, and there's out number 1.
A nice job of coming back from Trimble. He was down 3-0, but gets the out.
To his credit, we've seen that happen a few times today. It actually happened to Joseph Gutierrez to lead things off when Gutierrez was in a 3-0 count. Trimble threw 2 strikes and then got Gutierrez to ground out to second. Gets Brinkley to line out to short after he had him 3-0. Ben Jones to the plate. And an RBI single to score Brinkley his last time up. That was, as you mentioned, Truman, his first hit in 17 days. The 1-0 line down the third base line. This one, there's no miscommunication. That was too far to the left of Roselli. But the one before was one that Roselli tried to short hop. Fabriette was trying to slide behind him to make the play, and neither of them came up with it. They shared a laugh after. But now 1-1, 1 out. The 1-1 misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Jones. Trimble deals. 1-2. Or rather, the 2-1 swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But that 2-run single by Griess, he was thrown out at second, but plated the first 2 RBIs for him on the year. The 2-2 lined sharply down the left field line, but hooks foul and out of play. And it's certainly a welcome sign for the Bean Ballers, not just for Griess, who came in hitting just 194, has been thrust into the game after Matthew Novominski exited. But for the Bean Ballers, who have really had trouble with slow starts to get on the board. 2-2, another breaking ball lofted in the air, deep to left, back to the track. Griess makes the catch for out number 2. Jones gave it a good ride, but it was 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, that one just hung up just a little bit for Griess, and I think Trimble's a little bit lucky in terms of this good pitch. Jones got good wood. It was just slightly down the barrel, away from the sweet spot.
First pitch misses away to Nate Millington, who grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to get Trimble out of a jam his last time up back in the 2nd. Trimble deals again. 1-0 misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 from Trimble. At the knees for strike 1. Dots the inside corner on a fastball. Trimble from the stretch. The 2-1. Grounded sharply, but right at Snitko. He'll take it to the bag himself. The first 1-2-3 inning for Nate Trimble. We go to the 5th inning. Still 3-2 Rex here at Bob Warren Field.
Top of the 5th here in this Eastern Conference Central Division showdown here. Truman, Griessel, Daniel Herzog, we've been along with you. And, well, the Bean Ballers cut into the Rex lead last inning. A Trevor Griess 2-run single. And then Nate Trimble throwing up his first 1-2-3 inning. have gotten us to the 5th. And, well, Daniel, I was calculating some numbers earlier, and I realized that the golden numbers for Decatur this year have been 5 runs and 10 or more hits. In games, in June specifically, when they've scored 5 or more runs, they are 6-1.
Wow.
And overall in the season, they are 6-1 when they get 10-plus hits. So, if you're looking for numbers that, hey, if the Bean Ballers hit these numbers, they more than likely will win, it's 5 runs on 10 hits. The first pitch is outside to Decatur Rich. They currently only sit at 2 runs on 2 hits, but there's still plenty of baseball left to be played. Breaking ball downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes from Andrew Guzman.
Yeah, and both those runs, both those hits plated last inning, so the Bean Ballers' bats are up and moving around now.
They're trying to be. 2-0. Hacked in the air to right. Millington a couple shuffles to his left. And he settles under it, makes the one-hand grab.
Yeah, Rich just gets under this one. Has a little chat with his former teammate with the Rex, Wally Diaz, as he trots around first base and then retreats to the dugout. But, Truman, that means the only loss in June when the Bean Ballers reach those numbers would be that game against the Alton River Dragons. So it means that if the Bean Ballers allow 6 runs in the first inning, they won't win the game.
Keegan Farnes takes a strike on the outer half of the plate. He struck out looking against Andrew Guzman. And to put in perspective, the Bean Ballers are 7-9 in June. Half swing, but the pitch is off the plate to Farnes. 7-9 here in June. Their second 3-game losing streak of the season. Farnes out in front of a changeup, 1-2. And there was another number that stuck out to me was when they strike out less than 5 times. They had been 4-1 this season, but each of the last 2 games, they have not struck out more than 5 times. But they've lost both games. 1-2 to Farnes is outside. Count is even. As of tonight, they've struck out 4 times, so they're 1 away from that number of 5. And they trail by just a run. Guzman out of the line. 2-2 in the dirt. And the count is now full. Gage Reynolds on deck.
Yeah, Truman, that's partially the job that Camden Loomis and Mason Orton have done, and the defenses for the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp and the Normal CornBelters have been on par because they've gotten a lot of balls hit their way. There's been a lot of contact, not a lot of punch-outs, but Bean Ballers losing both games.
Foul pitch is outside to Keegan Farnes. He draws a walk. 1 out base runner for Decatur. It's a nice sight to see for Keegan Farnes. He had come into this at-bat 0 for his last 10, but now that's his 3rd walk over his last 4 games. He's also the Bean Ballers' best base stealer. Comes in leading the team with 12 stolen bases. The only guy above 6. Gage Reynolds also got punched out looking back in the 3rd. Guzman now out of the stretch. First pitch to him is a half swing fouled toward the Rex dugout. Reynolds started in 2 games last week. He just went 1 for 8, but did drive in a run. It's his first start here in week 5, the 2nd game of the week. 1's inside, ball 1. For Reynolds, though, in 1 game he's played against Terre Haute, he's 2 for 2 with an RBI and a couple of walks. So he saw Rex pitching very well the only game he's played. He drove in a run Saturday against Illinois Valley. 1-1, breaking ball, bounces outside, but Gutierrez backhands it. It's ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. No attempt to steal as of yet from Keegan Farnes. And now Nomar Garcia going to come in to chat with Andrew Guzman, and Joseph Gutierrez will waddle out to the mound to join him.
Gutierrez, nice stop there. He's got great instincts. He actually caught frequently back home in the Dominican Republic, but this summer. In fact, his game against the Bean Ballers last Thursday was the first time he's been catching. That's because when he first came to the U.S., he attended Connors State, was a teammate with Wally Diaz. Both actually arrived from the Dominican Republic as catchers. But the coach there didn't really care about positions. He just wanted the 9 best hitters, so he sprinkled them around. Gutierrez played a lot of games at third. Diaz became a full-time first baseman, but now Gutierrez back behind the plate this summer for the Rex.
Pitch from Guzman. Farnes off for second. Reynolds swings through it. The throw down. Farnes tried to sneak his left hand in, but he is easily tagged out. Thrown out by a couple of pitches. And obviously whatever was said at the mound between Garcia, Guzman, and Gutierrez pays off for out number 2.
Yeah, this was certainly more of a hit and run than a straight-up steal. And Reynolds does well to cover Farnes. Swings at a pitch that isn't really that hittable, but just not good enough of a jump. A great throw down from Gutierrez.
2-2's fouled off from Reynolds. And, well, again, sometimes as a hit and run, it's not necessarily to put the ball in play. It's to protect your runner at points. And, well, Reynolds tried to do that, but Farnes was easily thrown out. So no base runners aboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Guzman back out of the windup. He delivers. Fastball at the belt, called strike 3. 5th strikeout now for Andrew Guzman. 2nd time he's gotten Gage Reynolds looking. Guzman faces the minimum, and we're halfway home here at Bob Warren Field. And it's the home Rex that lead your Bean Ballers 3-2. Nate Trimble back out for his 5th inning of work. He's trying to complete 5 innings since all the way back a couple Sundays ago, back on June the 7th against the Du Bois County Bombers when he went 5 2/3. In that one, he gave up 3 runs on 5 hits with 7 punch-outs. But since then, his last 2 starts, just 4 innings against Lafayette and 4 1/3 last Thursday against Terre Haute. The Decatur bullpen is up and around, so we'll see if Trimble can work a quick inning here against the top of the Terre Haute lineup and get through 5 innings.
Yeah, he's done a decent job with damage control, just gotten a little beaten back in the 4th. Gave up a few 2 base runners, or rather back in the 3rd, but worked a clean 4th. Let's see if he can keep that moving.
Breaking ball in there for a strike to Joseph Gutierrez. The catcher is 0 for 2 today. He's now 0 for his last 6 here at home after he hit safely in 7 straight home games. He flies in the air, down the left field line. Geis ranges over, and near the left field foul line makes the grab.
And Gutierrez just a little bit behind this one, puts it the other way, but it fades not fast enough, and Geis ranges over to grab it. Quick out number 1 for Trimble.
Nomar Garcia now digs in for his 3rd time against Trimble. First pitch to him is a curveball at the knees for strike 1. Garcia reached on an air, stole second, and eventually came around to score the first of 2 runs back in the 3rd. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. Garcia, the last 2 years of college baseball, 84 appearances here with the Indiana State Sycamores. Breaking ball bounces, blocked by Reynolds, 2 balls and a strike. But a name he's made known here in Terre Haute. Made the 2026 Missouri Valley All-Defensive Team. Now goes down to a knee as he fouls a pitch straight over the screen. And it's his third year with the Terre Haute Rex. Career .282 hitter in the previous two. Just hitting .226, though, here in year 3. Count is now full as a breaking ball bounces in front of the plate.
Yeah, there are a few pipelines that the Rex recruit from. The Dominican Republic pipeline, the Indiana State pipeline, the Terre Haute local pipeline. And Garcia's a member of both.
Payoff pitch is fouled off. Garcia spoils a fastball from Trimble. Surprisingly, Garcia has struggled here inside his home ballpark. He's now just 4 for 23. It's below the 200 mark. Another 3-2. Hits him right in the left hip. And Garcia will be on once he shakes off the pain on a hit by pitch.
Yeah, Trimble upset with himself after that one. Just misses arm side again, and he hits now the third batter he's hit today. And he has to deal with another base runner.
Now Bryson Carpenter, who's had 2 good at-bats against Trimble. He's reached base both times, and he scored a run after singling last inning. Carpenter also stole his 8th base of the season. Garcia's off for second, but Carpenter fouls it off the Rex's dugout. Carpenter had 5 hits and 17 at-bats last week. He's now got 2 hits through 2 games here so far this week. Garcia not going, pitches in the dirt, glove by Reynolds. 1-1 now on the Terre Haute native. Pitch rolled over to third. Febriette to second for 1. Farnes over to first, not in time. Carpenter beats it out, but out number 2 is recorded on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, Febriette does a good job. This one isn't very sharply hit, and Carpenter possesses some speed, but as does Garcia on the base pass. But Febriette waits back on it just a little bit. Throws a nice solid throw to Farnes at second to at least get the lead runner. Relay to first way late, but the Bean Ballers at least get an out on the play.
Carter Murphy now with 2 outs and a man aboard. Extended his hit streak to 7 games with a single back in the first. Takes the first pitch low and away, ball 1. Murphy then flied out to shallow right. Back in the third. It was his 25th hit of the season. Now ties his teammate Wally Diaz for the team lead. 1-0's outside. 2 balls and no strikes to the slugging third baseman who's been around. Grew up in West Terre Haute, played his freshman year here at Indiana State, hit .360, spent summer of 2023 and 2024 with the Rex, but then the last 2 years of collegiate baseball, he's been down in the Sunshine State. He's been a Bull at South Florida. Garcia's off for second. Murphy fouls the pitch off, and the throw is not in time. So Garcia swipes second. Puts a man in scoring position with the count 2-1 to Carter Murphy.
Yeah, there was plenty of pace on the throw from Reynolds, just on a hop, so Farnes couldn't quite come up with it. And luckily, Murphy did, or rather, unluckily for the Bean Ballers, Murphy fouled it, but right into the glove of Reynolds, so it just works as a swinging strike.
It's Bryson Carpenter with the stolen base. 2-1 breaking ball off the plate. 3-1 now. Now for Carpenter, he's got 9 of them, 2 in this game. Trimble from the first base side of the rubber. Haters count the right-handed hitting Murphy. He delivers. Breaking ball in there, strike 2. Count is full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here on the bottom of the 5th. 3-2 Rex. The payoff pitch. Rolled over on the ground to the left side. Febriette has it, and he bobbles it, and Murphy's going to be safe. Second error of the night on Decatur, first on Moises Febriette, and it puts runners at the corners with 2 outs.
Yeah, this is a really tough play. It's hit softly, just chopped to the left side. Febriette and Rich both sort of had a play on it. Carpenter does a nice job to run right in front of the ball, makes it a tough play, surprises Febriette just a little bit and can't quite come up with it cleanly. Now runners at the corners.
Now John Toney will come out and have a talk with the whole infield. This is something you usually don't see, I feel like. Usually when your pitching coach comes out, it's strictly to talk to the pitcher and catcher, but everyone on the infield, Snitko, Farnes, Rich, and Febriette are all in there with Reynolds and Trimble. It's Gio Mendoza who's due up. He clubbed an RBI double his last time up in the third. But Trimble's trying to make him his last batter to complete 5 innings and keep the deficit at just a singular run for his side. Mendoza originally from Bronx, New York. Went to Western Oklahoma State in 2024, Mid-America Christian in 2025, and then redshirted this past season at Ottawa University in Kansas. First pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. You could say he's slowly making his way westward. Well, no, Murphy's off for second. Reynolds not even going to attempt to throw, and the pitch was low anyway. So Murphy steals second, 2 in scoring position for Gio Mendoza. Bean Ballers only need a out to retire the side. 2-0 is low. 3 balls and no strikes. Wally Diaz on deck. That double for Mendoza was his second double of the summer and also his 5th hit. Taking all the way, he takes a strike. Still a favorable count, though, for the left-handed hitting Mendoza. A 3-1 from Trimble. Chopped on the ground to second. Farnes has got it. And he flips it over to Snitko to retire the side. Some foot traffic in the inning, but Nate Trimble strands a pair in scoring position. He finishes off 5 innings on the mound. We're headed to the 6th. All the Ballers need is 1. Down 3-2.
Top of the 6th, 3-2 The Terre Haute Rex lead the Decatur Bean Ballers. Daniel Herzog, Truman, Griessel back with you on the official YouTube channel of the Decatur Bean Ballers. And top of the order, due up for Decatur, Brandon Abernathy, Moises Febriet, and Misael Maldonado. Decatur with just 2 hits on the day, but chasing just 1 run. Andrew Guzman out for his 6th inning of work. Neither team has gone to the bullpen yet. Guzman from the windup. First pitch to Abernathy. Bean Ballers center fielder takes for ball 1. Abernathy started tonight in left, moved over to center when Matthew Novominski exited. He's 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out so far. The 1-0. Abernathy takes a pitch in the dirt. Ball 2.
Guzman out for his 6th inning, but he's wavered the last 2, it's felt like. Missing with a lot more pitches, and that's the point where you can't help him out. If he's going to walk you, let him walk you, but if he throws a pitch, don't miss.
A 2-0. Abernathy swings and misses. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Bean Ballers, or rather Guzman faced the minimum from the Bean Ballers last inning. It wasn't a 1-2-3, but Keegan Farnes was caught stealing second. The 2-1. Abernathy, a tough swing at a breaking ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Parker Phillips and Manuel Toro are up throwing in the Bean Ballers bullpen. 2-2, offered at, swing and a miss, another breaking ball. It's another punch out. The 5th of the day, rather 6th of the day for the Guzman, and there's 1 away here in the top of the 6th.
Just how good that breaking ball has been to these right-hand hitters. It's just diving away, and those were 2 pitches outside the zone that Abernathy just chases, and Guzman will take that. It's credit to him, but Abernathy not having the plate discipline.
First pitch to Febriet, taken downstairs, ball 1. Moises today 0 for 2, a pair of ground outs. 1 to short, 1 in the hole to Carter Murphy at third. Ahead in the count, 1-0. Guzman deals. Febriet taps it foul at the plate. Looks like Gutierrez might have gotten the worst of that, but seems to be okay. And Febriet came in as a pinch runner last night, but did get the start against the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp. Drew a couple long at-bats, a pair of walks, and a single. Came in to score a run in that one and also stole a base. Worked some long at-bats, was hitting all the way down at 7th. Now he's in the 2 spot. In the hole, 1-2, and calls timeout late. Guzman had gotten into his windup, but no pitch. One ball, 2 strikes to Febriet. The 1-2. Febriet pops it up, back and foul out of play. Straight back. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. Febriet fouled off the last pitch. He's fouled off several so far this at-bat. Guzman deals. Febriet swings and misses through a fastball. 2 hitters, 2 punch-outs to start the top of the 6th, and now 2 away for Misael Maldonado.
Yeah, just not able to catch up to the fastball. It's a good pitch sequence from Guzman. A couple of fastballs in, handcuffed Febriet, and well, Guzman's looked the best he's looked probably in a few innings here in the 6th.
Misael Maldonado to the plate, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. First pitch, swinging, grounds it sharply, but just foul down the third base line. Maldonado got the start. He started every game since he came to Decatur. The 0-1 misses upstairs. That was back on June the 4th against the Du Bois County Bombers. Has started every game since. Almost exclusively in right, the 1-1 to the plate. Ugly swing. They say he holds up on a pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, if you fans listening at home could have seen that swing, you can just tell how nasty this breaking ball has been from Guzman because it just falls off a cliff. Maldonado really wants to swing at it, and that's been kind of his kryptonite. Breaking balls low and away. It's nice to see him holding up.
The 2-1. Maldonado takes inside, almost hits him. Has to scoot out of the way, but now he's got a nice hitter's count. 3 balls and 1 strike. And last time the Bean Ballers were here, wasn't long ago, just last Thursday. Maldonado had a solo home run in that one, a pair of hits. And the Bean Ballers won 6-5. The 3-1. Maldonado swings and misses. Ahead of a breaking ball, count goes full. Full count, 2 outs. Nobody on. Bean Ballers trail by 1. Guzman deals. Maldonado lofts it in the air. Shallow right. Millington over. He's under it. He makes the catch for out number 3. So the Bean Ballers go 1-2-3 in the top of the 6th. We go to the home half of the 6th. Rex lead 3-2. Parker Phillips, the right-hander, receives the call to the bullpen, the first call for either team. He's on the mound for the Bean Ballers. He relieves Nate Trimble after Trimble went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, only 1 of them earned, and struck out 1. Phillips has worked somewhat mostly as a starter this summer. Now his 8th appearance, 4 starts, but the 4th time he comes out of the bullpen. He pitched back against the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp his last time out last Saturday. And he deals with 6, 7, 8. Wally Diaz, Deacon Brinkley, and Ben Jones. First pitch to Diaz, swung at, lofted in the air, in right, but ranging over to make the catch is Maldonado. And Diaz is retired for the 3rd time today.
And for Phillips, he comes in with a 3 ERA across 21 innings, but he's given up multiple runs in back-to-back outings. 3 runs Saturday, 2 runs last Tuesday against Jackson. Gave up a season-high 6 in that game against Alton, but he'll throw strikes. Just watch out for those free passes.
Deacon Brinkley to the plate, takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Phillips back to work. The 0-1 misses low and away. Count even up at 1-1. That is the one thing the Bean Ballers have done well overall against the Rex, which is limiting Wally Diaz. He does have 1 long ball, but just 1 other hit. His last time out, 0 for 4 with a walk and a pair of strikeouts. Struck out to end the game. The 2-1. Line sharply in the air, but right at Abernathy for out number 2. So now 2 away. Ben Jones, the the designated hitter to the plate for the Rex. Jones 1 for 2 today. Singled to open the scoring, an RBI single back in the second to score Brinkley. And then flew out to left field his last time up. Phyllis deals. Jones takes strike one. The 0-1. Jones takes outside. Count now even 1-1.
And Phillips has been attacking the zone early. It's what he does. He'll allow a handful of hits, but he allows his defense to play behind him and could tally a few strikeouts from time to time.
Phyllis deals the 1-1. Misses low and away, ball 2. Although the bulk of his innings are on starts, Phyllis does have a save on the season. 2-1 chop down the third base line. Count now even 2-2. That came against the Lafayette Aviators. A 5-0 win. Nailed the coffin for the first and only shutout to this point from the Bean Ballers pitching staff. That was on Saturday, June 13th. The 2-2 misses away on a breaking ball. Count goes full to Jones. The lights are soon to take full effect. Full count pitch. Misses inside on the breaking ball. And Jones is on with a walk for the second time today. That'll bring up Nate Millington.
And now we want to see out of Phyllis, walking a guy who's really struggled this summer to bring up a guy who's been pretty hot at the plate, but you can just render that all for naught. You're just 1 out away from getting out of the 6th.
Phyllis takes a peek at first. Millington hitting from the left side. Shows bunt. Bunts it down the third base line, but way foul. Strike one. Certainly was looking to bunt for a hit. There are already 2 outs, but Fabriette was a little back. Now he's in at the edge of the grass. The 0-1. Millington swings away, lines it into right center. Maldonado ranges over and makes a running catch. So Phyllis gives up a walk to Jones, but strands the runner on base. We go to the 7th inning. Bean Ballers still chasing one, down 3-2 here on the official YouTube channel of the Decatur Bean Ballers. Hernando Griessel, the right-hander, out of the bullpen for the Rex. He relieves Andrew Guzman, whose day is done after 6 innings, struck out 7, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs, also 3 walks. But the Bean Ballers trail by 1, and you expect that the call after Griessel, maybe a pair of calls after him, might be received by Braylon Suriel, the flamethrower, out of the bullpen. So as the Bean Ballers go more innings without plating runs, the closer it comes to Suriel, who last pitched against Decatur 2 innings last Thursday, pitched the 8th and 9th, and the strikeout he got of Matthew Novominski to end the top of the 9th was his 100th as a member of the Prospect League, yet to take the mound again. Jackson Snitko to the plate. First pitch from Griessel, a strike at the knees to the Bean Ballers cleanup hitter. Snitko, the only guy in the lineup yet to be retired. Rather, one of 2. The only spot in the lineup yet to be retired. 1 for 1 with a walk today and a run scored. Lofts this one into left. Mendoza ranges over. He is under it and makes the catch for out number 1.
When Griessel comes into this, he's making what will be on the mound his 9th appearance. He's 3-1, so he's tallying 4 decisions, a 7.53 ERA, 13 strikeouts across 14 and a third innings. He has appeared against Decatur. It was in the second matchup. He threw 2 innings, gave up just 1 run on 3 hits back on June the 2nd.
Now Jackson Miller to the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a walk, and a run scored. First pitch, a breaking ball drops in there for strike 1.
He also gives the Bean Ballers quite a different look. A sidearm release point. Falls off to the third base side of the rubber. Gave up a run on a hit, a couple of strikeouts in 2 innings. A 15-4 win against Kokomo.
No one misses, well away. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Miller. Miller hitting from the left side. It's back-to-back lefties to face Griessel. Would be 3 in a row, but Matthew Novominski left the game. Trevor Geis replaced him, who hits from the right side. The 1-1. Miller takes just below the knees for ball 2. Griessel, also a native of the Dominican Republic, hails from Santiago and spent last season at Talladega College. The 2-1. Misses inside ball 3. So Miller, who walked on 5 pitches, a ball away from doing the same again today. That was back in the 4th. He scored on a 2-run single from Geis. The 3-1. Miller lines it down the left field line, hooking foul. Mendoza gave it a good chase, but it faded just foul of the left field line, and count goes full to the designated hitter for the Bean Ballers.
That's a good idea from Miller. I'm expecting Griessel to stay away from him, so left field is where you're probably expected to get a hit here. He comes inside, you turn and burn, but expect something that's going to run away from you on the outer part of the plate.
The infield is shaded to the right, expecting Miller to pull. Brinkley well to the right of a normal second baseman's position. Payoff pitch. Miller takes inside ball 4. Breaking ball misses inside. Goes right over the zone, and a runner aboard with 1 out. Trevor Geis to the plate. Geis 1 for 1 today, a 2-run single back in the 4th. The Bean Ballers only runs today. And the last hit for Decatur fouls off the first pitch off to the right now to play. And Geis was hitting just 194 coming into today through 36 at-bats. But those were his first 2 RBIs of the season. Griessel, the 0-1, swung on and missed. A big cut from Geis comes up empty. 0-2 now. Griessel from the stretch. Delivers home. 0-2 taken low and away. Ball 1. Carter Rich on deck. Pickoff throw. Miller back in time, standing up.
Yeah, Miller not a real big threat to go as a team. Decatur's now 47 for 60 stealing bases. It's 13th most successful ones, and Miller does represent the tying run.
The 1-2. Griessel deals. Chop to the right side. Fielded to second for 1. On to first. It's a double play. A softly hit ground ball, but right at Brinkley. Flipped it to Garcia, who tossed it across to Diaz to kill 2 with 1. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Bean Ballers take the field down to their final 6 outs, trailing 3-2 here at Bob Warren Field. It's stretch time here at Bob Warren Field, but as we stretch, we'll take you around, take a look at the other Prospect League action. Bottom 7 in Champion City. The Champion City half-tracks ahead of the Chillicothe Paints, 3-1 at home. The Du Bois County Bombers trailing at home against the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes, top 6, 8-2. The Springfield lead there. The Danville Dans down in Kokomo, trailing 6-2 in the top of the 6th. Meanwhile, the Quincy Doggy Paddlers shutting out the Clinton Lumber Kings 7-0 top 3. Lafayette Aviators ahead in Johnstown over the Mill Rats 4-2 top of the 5th. Meanwhile, the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp ahead on the road at the Burlington Bees. A lot of road leaders so far. Top 4 in that one, 4-1, the Illinois Valley lead. No score bottom of the 2nd in Normal between the CornBelters and the Thrillville Thrillbillies. The O'Fallon Hoots trail at the Cape Catfish. The reigning champs lead 3-0 in the top of the 3rd. And then the Jackson Rockabillies lead in the bottom of the 2nd at Alton, 2-0 over the River Dragons. But Parker Phyllis back to the mound. He deals with the top of the order. Gutierrez to the plate. Takes ball 1 outside. It'll be Gutierrez, Garcia, and Carpenter. 0 for 3 so far for the Rex leadoff hitter. Phyllis from the stretch, the 1-0. Misses upstairs, 2-0.
It's been the same job that, Phyllis did last inning and Trimble did his last couple of innings. You just got to keep the score right where it is, and that starts with getting the leadoff man out.
The 2-0. Gutierrez off his that. Lines it up to center field, but hangs up in there for Abernathy to make the catch.
We're asking you shall receive. It was off the end of the bat of Gutierrez. It was a good piece to hit, but not able to get on top of it. A lot of backspin on that ball. Hangs up in the air for Abernathy.
So Gutierrez retired for the 4th time today. Nomar Garcia to the plate. He's reached on an error and scored. Reached on a hit by pitch and was cut down on a force out. First pitch, Nomar takes in the dirt for ball 1. Phyllis from the stretch. 1-0 misses away. Ball 2. And as expected, Braylon Suriel up and throwing in the Rex bullpen. The Dominican fireballer. 2-0 misses. Breaking ball. Count now 3-0. Big hitters count to Garcia with 1 away. The 3-0 misses behind Garcia. It's a 4-pitch walk. And the Rex have a base runner with 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 7th, rather.
And a base runner with a lot of speed. He's stolen a base already today. So Well, he could swipe a bang, and then a base hit could score him, so you got to be wary of him over there at first, but just 4 straight misses from Parker Phillips.
Garcia 7 for 8 on stolen base attempt. Bryson Carpenter to the plate, who's 1 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch in the first, singled and scored back in the third, and grounded into a force out and stole a base his last time up. First pitch misses inside, ball 1. Phyllis, the 1-0. Line sharply in the air. Abernathy tails back a few steps and makes the catch for out number 2. So now 2 away, and Garcia retreats back to first.
Now batting for your Terre Haute Rex, number 28, Carter Murphy.
Carter Murphy now to the plate, the cleanup man for the Rex. So far today, he's 1 for 3. Reached on an error his last time up and stole a base. That one hit was a blasted single. Ground ball right back up the middle his first time up. Phyllis deals. Murphy takes strike 1 at the knees. Phyllis deals again. Murphy swings and misses. 0-2. Phyllis quickly ahead of Murphy. And the last hit for the Rex all the way back in the third. An RBI double from Gio Mendoza. The 0-2 chopped foul at the plate. Murphy stays alive. And for Decatur, no hits since the top of the fourth. That 2-run single from Trevor Geiss. Not only that, they've been sat down in order since then. Phyllis deals. Garcia runs, lined into right field, but Maldonado is there to make the catch. So a base runner for the Rex gets stranded again. We go to the 8th inning. Bean Ballers trailing by 1 down to their final 6 outs.
Top of the 8th here. Your Decatur Bean Ballers down 3-2. Down to their final 6 outs. It'll be Braylon Suriel who takes over on the mound for Terre Haute. He comes into this, his 11th appearance. He's 1-1, does have a save, possibly looking for his second. In 17 innings of work, he's got 30 strikeouts. And that 1.59 ERA. Last time he pitched, last Thursday against Decatur. It was 2 shutout innings, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. He did also walk a pair, though. But now this is the 3rd time Decatur is seeing him because they also faced him back on June the 2nd when he threw a shutout inning, collecting 3 strikeouts. So 8 of the 9 outs Braylon Suriel has collected against Decatur have come via the punch out, and he'll get the bottom of the order with Decatur trying to tie this game up.
Yeah, if you're the Bean Ballers, when you hear Narco by Blaster Jackson, Timmy Trumpet, you know it's not Edwin Diaz on the mound, but it's still someone who can blast fastballs by you. Braylon Suriel struck out the side his first time out against the Bean Ballers. That was back on June the 2nd, the first visit here for Decatur, and got 5 punch-outs against Decatur last Thursday, so plenty capable of just blowing it by you. Bean Ballers did load the bases in his second inning of work back in the 9th inning last Thursday. Did collect a pair of base hits, but 5 strikeouts on the day for Suriel and hasn't pinched since, so he's on plenty of rest looking to get these final 6 outs.
Well, you mentioned it, Daniel. He's a third-year guy with the Rex, spent the past 2 years in Indiana State, and that last strikeout he recorded was his 100th career strikeout in the Prospect League, so quite the milestone for him to reach. He gets Carter Rich, Keegan Farnes, and Gage Reynolds, who are combined 0 for 6, excuse me. The only time they reached Keegan Farnes reached on a walk in the 5th. We'll see if the bottom of the order can spark something. Just 2 hits still for Decatur, and those both came in the 4th inning. Fernando Cristomo worked a scoreless 7th. Suriel from the first base side of the rubber. His first pitch is lined in the air, shallow center. On comes Carpenter, and it's going to fall between him and Deacon Brinkley. So Carter Rich gets a hit off his former teammate, and the tying runs aboard to lead off the 8th.
Yeah, Rich is ready for this first pitch, looking to swing. He gets a strike and just lofts it right in between that triangle up the middle. And the first base hit for the Bean Ballers since the 4th. Now nobody out. They've got a runner on. The tying run aboard.
See if Decatur tries to play a little bit of small ball. Carter Murphy sure seems to think so. He's in on the grass over at third. Farnish does square. He pulls back, though. Pitch was inside, ball 1, check over. He did not go around, so it's 1-0 to the Bean Ballers' second baseman. For Rich, it was his 18th hit now of the summer. Farnes squares again, but the pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes.
A little cat and mouse game. Squares around to bunt, pulls it back, and Suriel doesn't give him anything he can bunt. So all he does is take it for a ball. Now a nice hitter's count 2-0.
Squares around for the 3rd time, but the pitch is again below the knees for ball, so it's 3-0. Suriel definitely does not want to walk the tying run into scoring position. Just has 7 walks through 17 innings. The 3-0. Taking all the way was Farnes in for a strike. Murphy still in over at third. The rest of the infielders shaded around to the right. Short lead from first from Rich. The 3-1. At the knees, strike 2. Farnes squared again, but he pulled back. But this time Suriel clips the bottom of the zone.
Yeah, it just dots the bottom inside corner. Farnes doesn't agree with it, but now he has to fight with 2 strikes.
Timeout on the field as the bullpens are in play here at Bob Warren Field. So one of the balls from the Bean Ballers bullpen made it all the way towards home plate. So
Bruno.
on this half turf, half real grass field. The infield is turf, but it's real natural grass. Farnes steps back in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch from Suriel. Outside, ball 4. First 2 hitters have now reached, and the tying run moves into scoring position with nobody out.
Yeah, bold take just off the plate, but definitely off the plate, and Farnes is aboard. Now 2 aboard for Reynolds. We'll see if Arroyo tries to play some more small ball, seeing that Suriel wasn't so sure-handed hitting the zone when guys were showing bunt.
8th walk drawn from Keegan Farnes now. This is going to be a meeting on the mound between the players. Everyone in the infield comes in to chat with Braylon Suriel on how they want to play this. Gage Reynolds does not have a sacrifice hit on the season. Decatur just has 3 as a team, and 2 of them were courtesy of Keegan Farnes. Reynolds is 0 for 2, a couple of backwards Ks, so he's just looking to put the ball in play and have a productive AB. You'd love something to the right side, far enough away from Deacon Brinkley to not allow him to turn 2. Double play depth up the middle. Corners are in on the grass. Murphy at third, Diaz at first. First pitch from Suriel. Reynolds does square, and he takes a strike. One offering. Reynolds squares again. He gets the bunt down. Bounces in front of Murphy, who fields, and his only play will be to first base. So it's a productive plate appearance from Gage Reynolds, who gives a dab and gets plenty of high fives back to the dugout. He bunts both Rich and Farnes now to second and third with just 1 away for the top of the lineup.
Yeah, great bunt. It is towards Murphy, who's creeping in at third, but it just dies softly. Chop more down than over, and Reynolds made it a close play at first, is out, but advanced both runners and really did his job. Now the tying run 90 feet away, the run to take the lead for the Bean Ballers in scoring position.
Infield now in. It's Brandon Abernathy, hitless tonight. First pitch is off the plate. Decatur trying to snap their 3-game losing streak and finally get win number 10. The Rex also looking for their 10th win. Trying to win 3 of their last 4 and 2 in a row. Abernathy had a 2-run double last night. Can he come through again? Lined up the middle and into center field. The game will be tied. Here comes Keegan Farnes, the throw in from center. Not in time. And Brandon Abernathy takes the lead for the Bean Ballers in the 8th.
Brandon Abernathy, man, once again, the second night in a row, he's had a 2-run hit in the 8th inning to either tie or take the lead for the Bean Ballers, and just an absolute gut punch if you're the Rex. Just the 4th hit of the day for Decatur, who have now put 4 runs on the board.
They now lead 4-3. First pitch to Moises Febriet off the plate. Added to the list of shirts I plan on buying, Mr. Clutch. And it's Brandon Abernathy's face. He's now got 10 RBIs on the season on his 21st hit. Moises Febriet was hitless against the starter. He swings. Abernathy to second to throw down. Gets away from the second baseman, Brinkley. And Abernathy swipes second.
Yeah, great jump despite the velocity that Suriel has, and the throw from Gutierrez just a little bit off to the left. And Brinkley, who had to cover from all the way coming over from second, couldn't quite corral it. Might have had a chance to tag Abernathy out, had he, but stolen base for the guy who plated the 2 runs for the Bean Ballers in this inning.
He's got 6 of them now in the season. He's in the scoring position, trying to add insurance. Febriet grounds one on the left side. Fielded by Garcia. He throws across. In time to get Febriet, but Abernathy, running on contact, makes it up to third.
Yeah, nice job to at least advance the runner by Febriet. Makes contact, and sometimes that's hard to do when you're facing Suriel. But he does well. And now another insurance run just 90 feet away for the Bean Ballers. Couldn't plate any insurance last night. Can they do something else tonight?
Sun's starting to peek out of the clouds here as it begins to set. First pitch to Misael Maldonado, breaking ball out in front of. Maldonado also hitless tonight. 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors for Decatur. 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. for the Rex. The 0-1 to Maldonado. Cracked in the air, shallow left, Garcia out, Mendoza in, and it's the shortstop Nomar Garcia who pulls it out of the air, but the Decatur Bean Ballers, the Cardiac Ballers, and Brandon Abernathy, Mr. Clutch comes through. A 2-run single gives Decatur the lead. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. They now lead 4-3 here in Terre Haute. Bottom of the 8th, and out of the Bean Ballers bullpen, it's a bird, it's a plane. No. It's Bruno Banuelos on to hopefully record the last 6 outs and put a stamp and the golden seal, the Bruno seal of this 4-3 come from behind victory. It's Banuelos' 9th appearance of the year. He's 2-0 with a 5.79 ERA and 21 strikeouts across 14 innings. And like we saw Braylon Surreal top of the 8th, Daniel, last time Bruno pitched was against the Rex last Thursday. Through an inning and 2/3, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 strikeout, and a couple of walks. And he's now got to protect a 1-run lead here facing the 5, 6, 7 hitters in the Terre Haute lineup.
Yeah, for Banuelos, it's typically the walks that tend to get him into a little bit of trouble, but a big strikeout guy. You mentioned the punch-out numbers he has. A big personality for the Bean Ballers, and that's probably another shirt you want to buy, Truman. You talk about Mr. Clutch for Brandon Abernathy, the no-fly zone from Abernathy and Novominski in the outfield, and Bruno Banuelos Tom also.
First pitch is a breaking ball inside to Gio Mendoza.
Of course.
Mendoza, Diaz, and Brinkley.
Of course, the Milliken men as well, with possibly Houchins, but definitely Rich and Reynolds.
Fastball at the knees for strike 1. Mendoza, 1 for 3. His 1 hit was an RBI double. Rex now find themselves trailing by just 1 run after they led by as many as 3. Backdoor breaking ball, can't clip the corner. 2-1 from Banuelos, and if anything, too, Banuelos in his 8 appearances up to this point, he's given up runs in 7 of the 8. The only shutout appearance, 2 shutout innings last Tuesday against Jackson. 2-1 is fouled back from Mendoza. Gavin Houchins, the All-American closer, couldn't close out the game last night. Banuelos trying to rewrite that script tonight. 2-2, pulled the string. Gets Mendoza swinging out number 1.
Yeah, this pitch, a breaking ball, starts away, stays away. Mendoza can't quite get the lumber to it, and it's a big first out of the inning to get things going for Banuelos on the mound.
His 22nd strikeout. Now of the summer out of the bullpen. He's on 2nd on the team, just trailing Manuel Toro. Crowd comes to their feet for Wally Diaz. Breaking ball is low to him for ball 1. That's been what the Bean Ballers have thrown him. A heavy dose of breaking balls, and it's resulted in an 0 for 3 performance from the slugger. Out in front of another breaking ball. Ball and a strike. Banuelos out of the windup. Right-hander deals. Breaking ball clubbed to left field. This ball is deep, and it's into the trees and gone. One swing of the bat from the reigning Prospect League Player of the Year, and Wally Diaz's 8th home run ties this game at 4.
Yeah, this is another breaking ball. It's been a heavy dose of breaking balls, but this one just hangs up there. It's not buried in the dirt. It's not blowing away. It's right down the middle. And Diaz, those are the ones he punishes, and he ties this game back up. Back-to-back games, the Bean Ballers can't close it out.
Diaz knew it. A huge bat flip as he made that same old trot around the base paths. It's also his team-leading 26th hit and 26th RBI.
Now batting for the Terre Haute Rex, number 3.
His 25th career home run and a Rex uniform. At the silver lining for Decatur, the game is tied. You're not losing. It's a brand new ball game, 4-4, and you still got the 9th inning to play before possibly extra innings.
Looks like the home plate umpire having a chat with Tony Roselli. Might be in regards to the celebration Terre Haute had. And now they call in the other umpire for a third opinion.
This has been a little bit of a contested rivalry between the Rex and the Bean Ballers, not just because former Rex player and coach Gabe Arroyo is now the manager for Decatur, and you have Carter Rich, who played with the Rex, but these games have gotten heated, and, I mean, again, Diaz, it was a no-doubt homer. I mean, in left field, there's the blue wall, then there are advertisements that are big banners above the wall. It was over those, and then there's a line of trees back behind the light poles, and it was into those trees. And I'm sure this is just a warning to say, hey, cool it. But again, I think I would take the side of Diaz. I mean, it was a no-doubt homer. Let him celebrate a little bit. I mean, it's just his 3rd hit versus the Bean Ballers. They've made him look foolish in all 4 games, and, well, he also tied the game in the 8th.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a frustrating day so far for him. Really gets that monkey off his back and ties a huge game.
And has Wally Diaz been ejected from this ball game? We'll come back to that. Brinkley to center. Abernathy's back, and it's out of here. Deacon Brinkley, back-to-back home runs. And the Terre Haute Rex now lead 5-4.
Wow, just back-to-back. Sort of reminds you of the home run hit by the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp, a 2-run home run back on Saturday after a confusing situation to give the Pistol Shrimp the lead. This one to dead center. Brinkley leaves the yard on the first pitch he sees. And now the Bean Ballers are back behind.
Ben Jones takes a strike at the knees. Everything that's happened. Wally Diaz hits a game-tying homer. He then gets ejected for the celebration. And then Deacon Brinkley, go-ahead home run. Breaking ball waved down and missed from Ben Jones. 0-2. Jones 1 for 2. He's driven in a run and also drawn a walk his last time up. The 0-2. Check swing, but he went around. Banuelos strikes him out. Second out now here in the 8th.
Yeah, nice breaking ball in the dirt. That's the one you want to Diaz, not the hanging breaking ball he got. And you just bury it. No chance for Jones to hit it, but he goes around too far. There's the second punch out for Banuelos on the inning.
Now Nate Milliams in with 2 outs. 2 runs already home in the inning. First pitch breaking ball low. Millington's 0 for 3 tonight. Came into this game 2 for 5 against Decatur pitching, but hitless tonight. He's ahead 2-0 though, fastball outside. Millington will play collegiate baseball on this field next year. Indiana State commit out of Terre Haute North High School. 2-0, he has to get out of the way of 3-0. He was a 3-year varsity starter, played in 92 career games with 101 career hits. The 3-0, high and away, ball 4. So Millington draws the 2-out walk, and it flips the lineup card over for Joseph Gutierrez.
Yeah, walks are sort of the kryptonite, per se, for Banuelos on the year. Just lets this one get away from a fourth pitch walk. Now the 11th free pass of the 4-ball variation handed out by Banuelos this season.
First pitch to Gutierrez, inside corner for strike 1. Gutierrez still searching for that first hit of the night. Just 6 of them for Terre Haute. Gutierrez is 0 for 4. The 0-1 outside. Ball and a strike. Now on the Rex catcher. Millington off for second. The pitch is outside. The throw down from Reynolds is in time. Tag applied by Carter Rich. Hoses Nate Millington at second to retire the side. But what an 8th inning. Decatur took the lead in the top of the 8th, and then back-to-back home runs from Wally Diaz and Deacon Brinkley. Now give the Rex 3 outs away from their 10th win of the year. Can the Ballers rally again? We'll see. Up next here on the official YouTube channel for your Decatur Bean Ballers. Top of the 9th. Rex 5, Bean Ballers 4. A wild 8th inning if you're just joining us. The Bean Ballers came into the top of the 8th, down 3-2. Brandon Abernathy came through with a 2-run single to give the Ballers the lead. Bruno Banuelos out of the bullpen. And then he proceeded to give a back-to-back solo homers off the bat of Wally Diaz and Deacon Brinkley to give the Rex back a 1-run lead at 5-4. But due to some unsportsmanlike conduct on the celebration of Wally Diaz's game-tying homer, he has been ejected. So Carter Murphy was at third. He moves over to first, and Johan Ferreira now slots in for Wally Diaz and will play third. And well, Braylon Suriel, now he came on looking for a save. Now he's trying to close out a win. He'll get the middle of the Bean Ballers lineup. Snitko, Miller, and Trevor Geiss trying to protect his own 1-run lead. Snitko singled and scored. Back in the 4th, he's 1 for 2. First pitch of the 9th. Upstairs, ball 1. While Snitko leads the Bean Ballers in hits and RBIs, he is still yet to go yard. 3:32 down the right field line. 1-0. Grounded on to second. Brinkley has it. 1 down.
Yeah, if you were the Bean Ballers, you were expecting to need to get 6 more outs. Now you don't need to worry about the defensive side, but you're down to your final 3 outs, and you just burned one of them there with the ground out.
Down to your final 2 outs. Bean Ballers are trying to avoid their 4th consecutive loss, which would be a season high and a franchise high. Meanwhile, both of these teams are looking for their 10th win of the year. Jackson Miller, who has gone deep, he now digs in. First pitch to him. Lofted in the air, left center field. Carpenter's over, and the Bean Ballers are now their final out.
Yeah, this is the first contact Miller's made today, a pair of walks and a strikeout. Just doesn't quite get all of it. Gets under it just a tiny bit. Good solid contact, but hangs up there for Carpenter to make the catch, and now the Bean Ballers down to their final out.
That's Trevor Geiss. 2 outs, nobody on. A slow clap starting here at Bob Warren Field from the home crowd. Swing and a miss from Geiss. He's 1 for 2 today with a 2-run single of his own back in the 4th. Now he's trying to keep the game alive for Decatur. Suriel comes set. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Ballers are down to their final strike.
And he didn't look particularly close to that pitch. Just got to get a put bat on ball first. Get a good solid swing off and make sure it's something close to the zone. You got to protect here, but don't chase.
Home crowd on their feet. The 0-2. Foul back. Guy spoils the fastball from Braylon Suriel. Geiss did launch 11 home runs at Lincoln Land Community College this past spring.
It'd be a good time to hit your first one with the Bean Ballers.
It certainly would. Another 0-2. Upstairs. Ball and 2 strikes. No strikeouts yet in this appearance for Braylon Suriel. Home crowd stays on their feet. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball blown by him. And Trevor Geiss strikes out. And the Bean Ballers have now lost 4 games in a row. Yet another heartbreaker, this time at the hands of the Terre Haute Rex. They fall 5-4.
Yeah, just a disappointing one. Similar fashion as last night for the Bean Ballers. You had it. You finally come alive with the offense. Of course, tonight they had actually plated runs before the 8th inning. But you played enough runs, take the lead, but couldn't quite finish it out. And it's another heartbreaking loss. It's been several close losses for the Bean Ballers, but the offense as a whole hasn't been quite as good, and the pitching, after being so strong throughout the first 7 innings, couldn't quite hold on in the 8th.
Braylon Suriel gets the win. 2 innings of work. He gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 strikeout. It's his 2nd win of the season. Bruno Banuelos takes the loss. It's his first loss. He falls to 2-1. A disappointing loss. I mean, it's been 4 consecutive losses in 4 different ways. And early in the season, Decatur would score at will in the first couple of innings. Now they can score late. But the pitching staff, the dam is breaking. And unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough. Back-to-back nights, Gavin Houchins last night, Bruno Banuelos tonight. Not been able to close it out. Ballers fall to 9-14. Terre Haute Rex improved to 10-14. Just kind of stunned. Just kind of sitting here. I mean, it'll certainly be a quiet bus ride back, and
certainly very disappointing I just think, like, where the Bean Ballers were when they left Bob Warren Field last Thursday, a chance to go back home, and if you get one more win against the Danville Dans, you improve to 500, and a chance to go above 500. Instead, Decatur drops 3 straight at home. You miss out on a chance to play at Alton. That one rained out, and then you come here, and it's yet again, you have a chance, you take the lead, but you can't hold on to it. Another very disappointing loss for the Bean Ballers, who now drop to the bottom of the Central Division.
If there's a silver lining, you play again tomorrow. But that's salt to the wound there. It's the defending Prospect League champion and juggernaut out of the Western Conference, the Cape Catfish. That will be in to Working Their Family Baseball Field tomorrow. 6:30 first pitch. But we'll be back here live on YouTube on Thursday, back here at Bob Warren Field against the Terre Haute Rex in what has turned to be one of the all-time early rivalries between the Ballers and the Rex. And then they finish the weekend a doubleheader Saturday and a game Sunday, the first home game on a Sunday this season against the Jackson Rockabillys. But one final time, Bruno Banuelos takes the loss, Brandon Suriel the win. Your Ballers fall 5-4 from my broadcast partner, Daniel Herzog. I've been Truman Griessel saying so long and good night from Bob Warren Field here in Terre Haute, Indiana.